Hi everyone! Today I am announcing a new series that I'm going to start putting on this channel, and I'm excited about it. Of course, it's not replacing what I already do, but it's adding to what I have on this channel, and it's a bit different than what I've been doing to this point. And the title of it is going to be Great Covers. The idea being that I will listen to an original by the original artist, composer, and then, because I know that there are some great covers of some of these pieces, I will listen to a cover of that song, and of course by a different artist, and compare and explore and enjoy the differences. And this appeals to me because, well, you see, in the classical world, a lot of what we do could be called covers, because although we don't think of it quite like that, and this term cover is still a little bit foreign to me. Why do you call it a cover? But anyway, you know, so many of the pieces in the classical repertoire were written long before we had any kind of sound recording capability at all. We're talking centuries ago. And of course, it moves up through modern, present day. But so much of it happened long before we could record that for most of it, we just have what remains on paper as our guide to what it could be. And so there's this whole tradition and art form in the classical world of figuring out how to lift this off the paper, bring it to life, and of course, in so doing, it becomes your own. For example, take Bach. Bach is famous. Everybody knows Bach's name, even if you aren't into classical music. Let's take two distinct, shall we say, artists who play, shall we say, covers of Bach's music. Let's take Glenn Gould and Vikingur Olafsson. Okay, they come from different eras, but still, if you look up each one of these on YouTube, Glenn Gould Bach, Vikingur Olafsson Bach, and listen, perhaps even to the same piece, you'll be astonished at the different sonic and emotional content. So I am accustomed to listening to various, what we call interpretations. Rather than covers, we call it interpretations. Various interpretations of music. And noticing the subtle differences and how it changes. Sometimes it's just one little tiny tweak that suddenly makes it an entirely different listening experience. So that's from my background, and that is one of the reasons that this appeals to me, this project, because I can listen to an original, and I won't be surprised if sometimes the original is not the best, while other times perhaps it will be far better than any cover that exists of it. I won't be surprised at all, but it's going to be a lot of fun to compare, explore, and I guess it will give me further insight into each artist's fingerprints, shall we say, and their approach to music, and the way the same piece can be presented in perhaps even different subgenres or substyles. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, today, the first one I'm going to do, because it is fresh in my mind, is going to be Voodoo Child. Well, I just listened to the original, and now I am going to be listening to, let's see, I believe it's Stevie Ray Vaughan, who I have heard one of his pieces. I guess it was Cold Shot. Was it Cold Shot?
Cold Shot.
Cold Shot. Okay. So I've listened to Stevie Ray Vaughan's Cold Shot. I guess that's the only thing I've listened to by him to date. So now, today, I'm going to listen to his version, his cover of Voodoo Child. Not only that, it's going to be live. So I will actually be watching his performance here on the screen, seeing him play the guitar, and it's going to be sort of a different experience from the original, which I just did. So let's have some fun and let's see where this new project takes us. It's so interesting seeing someone perform versus simply hearing them perform. And I know that. I'm a performer and I'm a musician and I listen to recordings and then I watch performances. And it's always such a different experience. Even here on the screen, watching the live performance versus hearing Jimi Hendrix's original, simply the audio, it's a different kind of experience. And I guess I find myself more drawn towards looking at the technique and what the hands are doing when I'm watching, and not quite so pulled deep into the music. It's a different balance between the two. But actually, I have to say he sounds pretty good. I mean, I was impressed with Hendrix's version. Maybe this doesn't have quite the same... It's a different quality, and I guess I'll talk more about that when I listen a bit more and begin to feel out the differences. But yeah, so let's keep going.
Standing next to the mountain, travel down with it tonight. Standing next to the mountain, travel down with it tonight. Think of all the busy nights and hours. We're gonna raise some time. 'Cause I'm a voodoo child. God knows I'm a voodoo child.
I've only listened to Jimi Hendrix's version once, so I don't know exactly lengthwise, but I feel like this solo was a whole lot longer. And the other thing that I'm noticing is this performance of it feels speedier. It feels somehow like it's going somewhere more intently. I felt like with Hendrix's performance, it was taking me deep into this experience, whereas this is taking me crazily through this experience. The even the voice, Stevie Ray's voice is smoother. It's more of a tenor voice, we could say, and it has more of that ring that we hear in a tenor voice, and it just lends a different quality to it. And but it's nice. He really gives a compelling performance.
I didn't need to wait on your time. Give it back to you each and every day.
This has a little bit more of a sultry quality to it. There's this sort of
I
passionate,
didn't need to take up all your sweet time.
and I don't mean that Hendrix's wasn't passionate. There's a different kind. There's this sort of depth to Hendrix's profundity, I could say. Whereas here, there's more of a sultry passion.
See the next one. Don't be late. Don't be late. 'Cause I'm a voodoo child. God knows I'm a voodoo child.
You really start hearing this beat here a bit more prominently, I think. The pulse of it. As a live performance, I feel like he's giving a very good stage presentation of the piece. What I mean is, well, let me go back to my background again. When we are presenting a piece on stage, we don't want it to be theatrical. We don't want it to be a put-on presentation. But at the same time, if you're really involved and connected to a piece of music, your body language starts to reflect it. You start to, and not just reflect it, actually, because everything we do physically comes through in the sound of the instrument. So if we can think of it like an actor can take on a character, not just fake a character, but become a character. When an actor is so good that he or she becomes a character, then it's just a whole different experience. Same with music. If a performer can become the music, which means all the emotions and the nuances and details that the music has within it, or that the performer finds within the music, if he doesn't just recite those, but actually becomes that in his presentation of the music, then it's a whole different level of experience for the audience. Of course, on a recording, sound recording only, you can't see that. You can still hear it, but you cannot see it. When you watch a live performance, if I am judging a student or a performer, you start to notice little things about how they're moving. And if I am coaching somebody to prepare for a live performance, those little subtle details can be a key to bringing the musical performance to a higher level. Again, it's not about acting for the sake of appearance. It's about becoming for the sake of the music. And I see here, in this performance, I see that he is so at one with the musical performance. Just this last little bit here, he starts to droop, and he starts to, it's as if he's feeling the weight and the exhaustion that the music is giving us here. And he physically manifests that. It's so interesting to see him so well attuned to the music. Oh, and right here, actually, this is a great moment to pause before playing again, because it's a close-up of the guitar, and I'm seeing that his guitar is really kind of, should we say, antiqued? It looks very worn, and I knew a classical guitarist as a student who talked about some of the rock guitarists. I don't remember which one, the name, because the names meant nothing to me back then. But he said something about somebody used to even enhance the wear on his guitar by carving and hacking at it a little bit to really make it look a little bit more worn. I don't know if it was Stevie Ray Vaughan or if this is just the wear that has come on his guitar here. I don't know if it's a defect of the instrument, but I see that there's quite a worn spot right above the strings where he picks. It's almost as if his pick goes flying over there and scratching it a whole lot, or something happened. I don't know. Maybe one of you can enlighten me on that a little bit. Okay, so let's watch him here. Right here. You see his whole demeanor. Now I know he's bending over. That's not it. Here, look at him. He's just so part of the music. I'm impressed he can play with that big ring on his hand. We are back to the theme again. Interesting articulation here. I kind of like it. almost thought he was coming to the end there, and then there was a little cadenza coda. That was really nice, and I guess I have to say he played it well. He owned it, and it's a great cover. I don't know which one I love more. I have a feeling that I will probably tend to favor the Hendrix version long term. But as I said, I need to live with that version a bit more and return to it and spend a bit more time with it, get to know it, get to know the music, the performance more deeply. But that's one of the reasons that I think I will probably favor that one in the long term, because it feels like there's some meatiness to it that I can enjoy for a while. This one, however, was really impressive and really great and incredibly compelling, and I enjoyed it. So there we have my first great cover in the series, and I am so eager to see what comes next. It's going to be a lot of fun to go through this and hear your comments and what you have to say along the way as well. So I'll see you